So to start off, as we approach our partner, we're going to first put our right hand on her right shoulder and then bring it down her arm as we come across her until we get to her wrist, where we turn her, and then bring our hand across her back, down her left arm, and then from her hand and fingers, we're going to turn her the other direction.
And the follower's just giving him a little tension so he's able to lead us here.
And then once we're together, you're going to release her hand up here. At the same time, you bring your other hand up for a closed position.
Follower is going to place her right hand in between his thumb and pointer finger, with the thumb on the outside.
And for the leads, your arm is going to go right up underneath her left arm with no gaps. Be nice and snug here. And once we're here, we're ready for the next signal. What the next signal is going to be is we're going to push her a little bit backwards with our frame. That means with our arms joined at the shoulder, right? We're going to be nice and solid. We're going to step forward, and this is going to push her backwards so she knows that she needs to step backwards. Forwards.
And in order to respond to that lead, ladies, we're going to need to press back a little bit too. You don't want really droopy arms here.
And once you step forward, of course, we step backwards and bring your follow with you. And then from here, we're ready to start walking around each other. When we do this, we're going to drop our right arm from her shoulder blade down to her waist. And then this hand is going to put her right arm on our shoulder as we begin to walk around her.
And the follower just can play with her dress here, make it pretty.
And then once we're ready to turn her, again, making sure she's on her left foot, we're going to grab her right arm by the hand and turn her, and then replace, okay? Your right hand will go back on her waist, left hand is gonna go back on your shoulder, and then we're going to start walking away from her. Bring your hand across her stomach and then down her arm, and from here, we're ready to bring her in. Once you've reached the musical cue to come around her, you're going to give her that very slight tug to let her know, hey, I'm coming around your left side, to pick up her other hand. So now we've gotten here, we're ready to turn her out. What that means is we're going to bring our left arm over her head as we spin her out. I'm going slowly, it's going to look like this. And then we push her out, okay?
And we're just going to focus on, as the followers, to not fight against the lead, just leave our arms available and somewhat loose.
And once we've got her, so your left is going to be joined to her right, and that's going to be on top of your right arm joined to her left, okay? Once we're here, that means we're ready to bring her back in. Arms above your head, and you can let go of her hands. And now we're going to get ready for the first lift. The way the first lift is going to work is you're going to bring your left arm across her back, the small of her back, and then your right arm is going to grab your elbow. This will give you a nice secure hold to lift her up.
And followers here, we're pressing down with our arms against his shoulders so that we're supporting our own weight as well.
And then set her down very gently. And now we're ready to go back into prom position here. Okay. Once we've reached the next musical cue and we're ready for the next move, we're going to spin her. Okay. Your right arm is going to pull towards you. Your left arm is going to push away. Okay. So you're going to make it look like this here.
And the lady's just going to bring her left arm up so that we don't hit him in the face here.
And you have both of your hands on her waist here. And then the left arm is going to come up, bringing her arm with it for the styling. And then you're just going to trail down her arm, down her side, and back to her waist.
Then the follower here is going to bring her left hand into his right hand.
From here, once we're ready for the next musical cue, we're going to be stepping to our left, okay? And make sure we're bringing the follow with us. We're not going to step away from her. We're going to keep our frame nice and tight. That means this arm here that has her is going to bring her with us. Left, right. When we step to the right, actually come back real quick. As we step to the right, we're going to be releasing her and turning her out. So left arm is going to be uninvolved. We're going to be left arm releases, right arm pulls her to the side and turns her out, okay? I have a nice sort of fan position where we're both open. Once we're here, okay, we're going to be turning her towards us so that she's going to be nestled up against our side. What we need to do here is bring our hand, pull her towards us,
And we're pulling back here so that we're not just, our whole body isn't going, but we're having pressure and tension in our arms too.
So we pull towards us and then raise your arm up above her head, okay? That's going to give her the space to turn and then come close to our side. Once we're here, you bring your right arm around the small of her back and bring her nice and snug against the side of your body, okay? It's important that she's nice and snug up next to you for the next move because we're going to be lunging. If she's not snug with you, but when you lunge, she's going to crash into your side and it's going to be very bad. We need to make sure she's nice and tight with us.
And ladies, we're going to bring our right arm over our left. I like to just place it right there, nice and snug.
And then now we're ready to do the lunge. So if you need to take an extra count to make sure you're safe and secure, definitely do that. Don't rush this one, okay? Here we're ready to lunge, so we're going to step out with our foot, all the time keeping her pressed up against us so that there's no room for air. So we can keep her nice and close to us. We lunge, and then we come back up. Right here, this signal actually you lead, almost.
So the lady is going to step, as she steps, she's going to rotate toward the left shoulder and then just lean back a little bit into his left arm.
So as the lady steps across you, you're going to be having both of your hands on her back. As she steps across, you're going to be rotating and then supporting her as she dips down, okay? Have a nice firm grasp on her back, make sure she can feel that support. And we don't want her worried about falling away and crashing on the floor. Nice firm grip on her back, and then we bring her back up. We're going to be doing the prompt position for a little while until we're ready for our next cue. That's going to be from a closed position, right? So we'll be here. Once we're ready, this has to be a very definitive lead. The lady has to know exactly where you're going. So we're going to be stepping forward and then replacing our feet, right? So we step forward, replace our feet, and then backwards. As we do that, it's very important, step forward to rotate, okay? So we step forward once we land, rotate a little bit to your left, okay? That way when you're going backwards, you're gonna bring her with you at an angle, all right? So one more time, step forwards, close your feet together, rotate, and then backwards, like so, all right? After you do your first forward, foot replace, rotate, backward, foot replace, once you've done those first two, then we're going to place her right arm on your shoulder, and your right arm is going to go from her shoulder blade down across her stomach on her waist, okay? Once we're here, then we can go the same move again, so forward, and make sure we're bringing her with us, right? She feels a strong connection here.
The
Forward.
lady can just play with her dress again here.
Foot replace, and again rotating. Once we replace our feet, step back, foot replace, forward, foot replace, backwards, foot replace, like that. So once we've done this, now we're ready to step across her. 1, 2, 3. As you take these 3 steps, you're getting your thumb underneath her hand, so you're ready to turn her, okay? As we turn her, I'm coming back, so we do our 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, turning her, and then stepping back with our right leg. And then as she brings up her leg, we're ready to lift her. So to look at that second lift from a different angle, right? Once we've gotten here, we're going to take our 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. We've gotten our thumb underneath her hand, we're ready to turn her, step back with our right, and then we're ready to pick her up, okay?
And the follower is also supporting her own weight again with her right arm pressing down into his shoulder so that we're supporting that weight.
And for that reason, it's important for you to get low enough that your shoulder comes into her armpit, otherwise she can't contribute much. So you have to be able to get low enough to rise up into her armpit and hold her leg.
And we're gonna bring our leg out. We're somewhat pressing down a little bit, but not too much, but leaving it straight.
And from here, we're going to rotate until the musical cue where she flips her leg over.
And then the lady's going to bring her left leg over.
And you catch it, and then we have both legs now with this hand. And we continue rotating. And set her down. once we've set her down from that second lift, right, she's just landed, she's going to start walking across you, and you're going to leave your right arm out for her to trail her hand across. And once she's done that, she's going to stop walking a few steps away from you. And once she's done that, then you're ready to go and approach her. Again, on the left shoulder, this time with your left arm. And we're going to bring our hand down her arm until we get to her hand and turn her back towards us.
And the lady's just going to give him a little tension here so he can lead us.
You're going to bring her own hand over her head and then down the back of her neck, on her shoulder, down her right arm. When you pick up her hand, you're going to kneel in front of her. Once you kneel down, you're going to lead her in another turn across you. So you're going to bring her hand up. Make sure we're palm to palm. When we're palm to palm, our hands can rotate freely around each other and lets her have the freedom to turn. Okay, so our fingers don't get tangled up. So bring it palm to palm across you. And then you're going to let her sit on your leg.
We're just going to place our right arm down on his shoulder.
And then we're going to keep our left arm across her back and give her a lot of support so that she feels she can extend as far as she wants here, and then help her come back up. As she stands, she's going to bring us with her.
So this part, the lady's going to pull up a little bit.
And once you're standing, you can bring her arms around your neck again, and we're once again in prom position. So let's look at that last move from a different angle so we can get a clear idea of the lead and the follow. So as the lead is kneeling, what's going to happen is we're going to take her hand, draw her across through the middle, and make sure your arm is high enough for her to spin underneath it. Once she's done that, then she's going to spin or sit on your leg.
Follower's just wrapping her right arm around his head.
And then your left arm is going to be across her back at sort of an angle. And what you want to do is make sure she has enough support that she needs to extend as far back as she wants. So make sure she feels supported, and then bring her back up.
The follower's going to pull him back up.
And then once she's pulled you back up, you can take her arms, put them back around your neck, and here we're ready to do prom position again.
So from this part, the lady's going to bring her right arm, just draw it down, and as she does that, he's going to bring his left arm up and go back into that position.
So around about when you feel her arm or her hand at your elbow, that's when you can pick your hand up and respond and bring her into closed position. And remember, as you do that, bring your right arm up from her waist, up onto her shoulder blade. And it'll bring you into a nice kind of closed position like this. And then from here, we're ready for the next musical cue, which is going to look like sort of a circle. We're going to be drawing our follower as if we're stirring a big pot of soup. Okay, so we're going to treat her like a big old spoon, and we're going to be drawing a circle with her torso and bringing her around like that. Okay, so
the follower is going to be extending with her upper half, just leaving her head loose, her neck, and then coming back up.
So what it's going to look like is once we've come into closed position and we're ready, just like that. All right, so once we've done the head roll, then we're immediately going to put her into another turn. So that's going to be left arm raised, bring her through.
Lady's going to bring her left arm down here.
And one thing you can do actually to make this turn a little quicker, a little snappier, and to show the kind of energy that you want to have for this turn, as we bring her through, we can kind of step across and bring the arm with her. So as she comes through here, we step and bring the arm with us and kind of whip her around, and then we're ready for the next lift, okay? You don't have to do that, it just makes the move a little more impactful. So from here, what we want to do for the next lift, we're going to need to get down super, super low because we're going to be lifting her up by her thighs. So we squat down super low, grab ourselves by the wrist, nice strong hold on her thighs, and spin her around.
And the follower is going to do the same thing with the other lifts as she presses down on his shoulders so that we can help him support our own weight.
And then when we're ready to set her down, we're going to take one arm on her lower back, upper back, and gently set her down like that, okay? And that'll keep anyone's clothes from getting pulled up or in any strange direction and keep everything nice and professional. So once we've set her down from that lift and we're once again in prom position, we're ready to start walking around her again. Again with her hand on her shoulder and our hand on her stomach and waist. And then we're going to turn her once again on her left foot. And bring her hand once again down onto your shoulder. And then bring your hand across her stomach, down her arm. And then we're going to give her a nice sharp turn here. So we're going to take her hand in ours and grab her by the fingers and pull her towards us. Nice sharp turn. And then as you bring her under, we're going to come back together in sort of a high five position, almost palm to palm here, as we keep walking around each other. And then from here, once we're ready for the next cue, we're going to take her hand and pull it towards us, and another nice sharp gesture like that. And then we're going to pick up her other hand once she turns towards us. And then we'll walk around her for a few more counts. And then slowly bring our left arm over her head and turn her out. Push her away slightly and then bring her in for one final prom position as we close out the choreography.
We hope you guys enjoyed practicing the lead and follow parts.
And again, we recommend breaking that down and practicing it in sections until you feel comfortable with each individual move. And then once you're comfortable with the entire choreography, you'll be ready for the next section. Good luck.